What's up, YouTube? Today is day number 6 of the $1,000 account challenge, and today we are up $26.56 or 2.39% of the total portfolio balance. If you don't know, my name is Gates. I'm taking $1,000. I'm day trading options, trading my system to see how far we can grow the account, and man, we are doing just fine. We are on fire. I want to give a special shout out though before I continue on the video. I want to give a special shout out here to our trader of the week. That's going to be Solo. It's been a great week, almost $2,500 in profit, and the chart here is showing consistency, and that looks very consistent to me. So well done, Solo, on your gains this week. So what trades did we take? Well, we're going to start off with the day trade watch list. Straight off of the watch list, we had Google this morning as a long idea above 135.5 / pre-market high, and the reason why is because it was an up gapper on a positive reaction to a news catalyst, and I said let's see if we're going to get a continuation out of this. So here is Google. Now remember, I said long above 135.5, which is right here, or the pre-market high. Because this was opening up very close to 135.5 in the live trading today, I mentioned to everybody, let's move the long trigger up to 136. So we do just that. Now, to start off the morning, we get an opening rally on Google. By the way, this is your up gap. Closed way down here at 130 yesterday, opened up near 135 today. So we get an opening rally to continue the pre-market up gap. And we know that two things are true here. Number one, we are not trading in the first 5 minutes, all right? So we're letting this first 5 minutes pass us by. Number two, we're not chasing the move. We know we're getting a break of 136. We know we're getting a continuation on this. We are not going to try to top tick this and go long at the top. We're not going to do that. It's not how we trade. We want to get a low risk entry. So understanding that we adjust the long trigger to 136, that becomes our stop loss, and we look for a pullback. We get the pullback right here, and the reason why we go long here is because the stock has pulled back what I like to call close enough, in quotation marks, close enough to the long trigger itself. So the stock here is pulled back within 0.5% of the long trigger. So we go long there with a stop loss at the trigger for the run up towards the high of day. Now, I wound up taking my profits pretty early on this because we were offered a 20% gain. So why not take the profits when they're offered? But if we look again at the risk off amount versus the reward amount, and here's your risk off amount down to 136 versus your potential reward, which is going to be up to the high of day, maybe even a break of high of day slightly. This is our reward amount offered versus the amount of risk. And you can see it's almost double there. And that's exactly what we like to look for when we are taking our trades. So 20% gain offered on Google. Entry here, exit there. I don't have typed alerts to show you that are time stamped because, again, we were trading live with the team. But we decided that we weren't done with Google because it did print a high of day, right? We're going to go back in on this. So if Google is to continue up, every previous resistance should act as a new point of support. So our dip down, we're looking for the high or low. Our dip down right here, we go back long on Google with the stop loss placed at this previous entry spot. So again, our risk off amount looking like that. Our potential reward up to the high of day, potentially through the high of day, maybe slightly through, looks like that. So here's your reward amount potential. Here's your risk amount potential. Now, I wound up taking the profits early on this one at a 10% gain because, well, it's the beginning of the $1,000 account challenge. And what I'm trying to do right now with this account is build up a profit margin. I've talked about this before, but I want to remind you it's so important that you take your profits when they're offered in the beginning of challenges, because if we take a loss, we will take a loss. We have taken a loss so far. We want to be able to take the loss and not dip back down into our initial $1,000 investment, right? So by building the profit margin here, by taking the profits when they're offered, we are building that up so that when we do take a loss, it's not going to dip that back down into our initial investment, and we can hopefully recoup that money back with proper risk management in the future. So that was it. Our two trades on Google, one long at 20%, one long at 10%. But I want to continue on from here and talk about a couple of other things. In the question and answer, the Q&A session of our live trading today, someone had asked me, is there an advantage to trading early morning sessions? And if so, what is it? And my answer was this. Yes, there is an advantage to trading those early morning sessions. And that advantage is that you will most of the time get your moves, your directional moves that you're looking for early on, within the first hour or so of market open. And as the market stays open, typically during the middle of the day, you enter into a lull period, a consolidation period, where like if you look at this price action on Google, all of that consolidation happening, match that up with the volume down here, right? So as the volume starts to die off from the early morning session and kind of stagnate a little bit, so does the price action of the stock. So the advantage of trading these early morning sessions like this is that you typically get higher volume with more directional moves happening. That is why we like to trade those early morning sessions rather than stay here all day and continue to trade the midday session, because you're just going to get more volume and more moves early on. I want to talk about one more stock off the day trade watch list today, and that's going to be AMD, long above 121. Now, I mentioned to my team this morning that we had two top stock picks for our long ideas, and that was going to be Google and AMD. And the reason why is because both of them had positive news catalysts that caused them to gap up. Now, we went with our trade on Google, decided to not go with a trade on AMD, and the reason why is because AMD was just running too far without enough of a pullback for me to like the entry. So this was our long above 121, right? We get the run up, but then just no pullback here really until you start to enter into this consolidation phase. And then I did not take the trade over here because I was starting the Q&A session at that time. So I wound up missing a really great move off of AMD. But I want to point this out. When you are looking at something for a potential pullback, right, and you just don't get it, it's always better to miss the move than to force something. So if we're looking at this in terms of, what's our risk amount versus our reward amount, and we try to go long on this first dip here, or this first dip here, or even this dip here, look at the amount of risk that we're taking down to 121 versus the amount of reward that's offered. Well, here's your reward amount up to the high of day versus the amount of risk, right? A lot of risk, little reward. Again, risk amount down to 121 for the potential reward. Now, that's about a 1-to-1, a little better. This right here was actually one entry that I did mention in chat. Potential entry here for the reward up to the high of day, but still quite a bit of risk down to the bottom side. And this one actually did give you about a 20% gain there. This is your ideal entry spot. These are your ideal entry spots over here and over here, where you have that tight risk, stop out below 121, below the short trigger level, with the potential for a high reward. Now, again, the reason why I didn't take this trade is because I had started the Q&A session at that time and was not fully confident that AMD would reverse on this dip, at least, as it was pulling back and creating these lower lows. So I did not, like I said, missed opportunity, didn't take this trade here, but it was still mentioned as a trade idea in the live trading for those members to take. And actually in the profits channel, I want to give a shout out to somebody else here as well that said that I believe they're currently on vacation for their anniversary. Yeah, it was this member here, so we'll disable. It was Mike Lord 7 on vacation for my anniversary. So I tuned into the live trading for 5 minutes and still got a 20% gain on AMD. Mike, first of all, congratulations on the anniversary. Second of all, enjoy your vacation. And third of all, nice profits. Okay, that's it. Quick video, short video for today. I hope that it's helped you out. If it has, please press that like button for me, as it's the best way to support this type of work that I do. Subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed already. Take care, and I will see you in chat. We're going to continue on with this $1,000 challenge, see if we can't make 250 grand.